Aloha, crafters! This is Mona again with another DIY. For those who celebrate Galentine or even Valentines, this is great for any time. This is a message in a bottle necklace, and I added a charm and a cord and a little message in a bottle tied up in a cord. And this is a waxed soy candle. Some I made plain and some I added some dried flowers to it. The tin can is 2 1/4 by 1 inch. I filled it about a 1/2 inch to the top, and I added the rest of the dried flowers. I packaged them in a clear cellophane and with a lace and trim on the top, as you see in the picture. Here's the box that came with 12 tins with the wick included from Amazon. Here's the beeswax, and also I added the soy wax, and here are the dry flowers. So you can see how small they are from my hand next to it. And what I'm going to do first is glue on the wick toward the center of the heart. And then I'm adding a little bit of the beeswax, probably 1/4 of it, and then the majority of it will be the soy wax. Here's the package of the soy wax that I used from Amazon. So we start off with hot gluing, and my hot glue is Gorilla Glue. And I eyeballed it and put it in the center, close to the center as I can see. And I did it for all of the 12 tins that I had first. So the first 6 batch, I'm going to be using Citrus Boost, and I'm going to make these as plain candles. I'm not going to add the dry flowers to those. And I was kind of debating what type of scent I was going to use, and I picked that one. So here I am with my large kind of a teacup, and I put the soy and the beeswax in it. And I'm just walking over to my desk so I can put it in a silicone cup. And then I waited a while, and then I added the essential oils and I mixed it. I used this baking sheet pan to put all the candles that I'm working on at the time, because I like to have easy transportation when I need to move it, because I'll be working on the other candles with the dried flowers and I don't have enough table space, and this is what I did. I used some painter's tape to make sure that the wick was going to be held up straight, so when I cut it, it would be fine. So I added this after I already poured the candles in there. I think some people automatically just do it, but I wasn't sure if I was going to add dried flowers, and I decided not to for the first 6 batch. So this is what I did. Now this is the other batch that I'm adding the lavender essential oils. And this particular brand I did get from Amazon, and I used it before. You'll see at the end I didn't have enough wax to put on the last container, so I went and I boiled some more soy wax for the last container, and I want to use it up, and that was fine. But I don't think I filmed that or showed you that, but I'm just letting you know sometimes the calculation doesn't come off right, so you fix it. Now before the wax dries up completely, you want to have the top of the wax kind of moist, so you can actually push down a little bit on your dried flowers, because you do want them to be in the wax. And these smell really good. I got this pack from Amazon, and I had extra from what I used before on my other giveaway gifts that I used, and it lasts a long time. And because it was Valentines, and because I wanted to use kind of the reddish pink fuchsia colors, I figured this would be a good color combination for that. And out of the pack, I only used about 4 of the different dried flowers in it. So that's what you see me doing there. trying to lay it out and push it down. It doesn't really take much to do that. And then once those are done, and those are the pictures of what I actually used for this project. Again, I only used 4 of them. It comes with more than this from Amazon. And there they are. And I am going to cut down the wick. So then when you put the lid on, it doesn't smash it down. So just cut all of them at the same time and add your lid to it. It's a very simple project because the wax dries up really quick. You don't have to wait a day. It dries up in whatever, 10 minutes. Then after you cut all the wicks off the candle, then what you're going to do is think about what kind of packaging you want to do. And what I did is I bought these clear plastic gift wrapping bags from Daiso. And they usually have the size that I want. And again, they're closer to my house, so that's what I bought. I was going to make a sticker so I can just seal it in the back, but I just decided to just fold it over, staple it, and then I hot glued the trim on top of the bag. And I did this for the 6 bags of the ones that I did for the ones with the dried flowers. And the other ones, I just put a red ribbon on those. So you'll see in the next videos that I'm just doing the same thing, stapling them and putting the trim on the packaging. I like using these clear cellophane bags. I think they just add the finishing touch over to something that either you're going to give away. And now we're on the DIY number 2, which is these message in a bottle necklaces that I made. So I made 3 like this, just with the charms attached over to the necklace. And then I made some that I put a little message and tied it in a knot on the bottle. These next few pictures are just close-up shots on how some of the necklaces looked. It's to show you some of the charms that were attached over to the necklaces. And here's some of the glitter that I added inside of the bottle. The cord for the necklace. The back of the package for the charms that came assorted from Amazon that I bought years ago. I had some pearls that I added inside the bottle. And this is the tutorial on it. These little miniature bottles were probably 2 inches in height, so they're pretty tiny. And I got them in a package that I bought from the Dollar Tree. I used some of this shredded iridescent packaging that I got. Be patient when you're trying to push this in the bottle. Use the end of a paintbrush, or you'll see that I'm using my scissors because it was next to me, but I switch off between the end of a paintbrush in order to push that in there. And then what I did is I cut the excess off, and it does leave a mess. I do have a lot of leftover beads, pearls, things, embellishments that I had when I was going to start making jewelry. So I have a lot of these in my stash. There will be other pictures at the end so you can see the beads at a closer up angle. I put in a little bit of glitter. I shake it up to get it all the way in there. I ended up using some of the dried flowers, but I think I only put either 1 or 2 inside. I didn't put them on all of them. I just used it on some. There is the eye hook that I used. It's very small, that I punctured through the cork of the bottle. I use Gorilla Glue to make sure that it stays in there tight. For the message in the bottle, I used what I had. I just had some wax paper near me. I cut it up about a 1/2 inch or less. I rolled it up. You can use a skewer or whatever you have. And I rolled it up, and that's my message in a bottle. I used some of my leather cording to tie the message up. I added a little hot glue because I did not want this to untie when I try to force it in the bottle. I cut those lace ties shorter, as you see there. Those are all the charms that I pulled out that had to do with Valentines, whether it was a heart or something else. I was going to pick which one I wanted to use. And when you put the message in the bottle, I probably put too much shred in there, so I used my little pokey tool to push it down, or you can use the end of a screwdriver or paintbrush or whatever you have. I put some hot glue around the cork because I did not want that to pop out, and some of it did, so I just hot glued that on. Now I'm not measuring, I'm just cutting up the leather cording for the necklace. And I am going to just tie it in a knot. But before I do that, I'm going to go through what charm I want to be dangling from the bottle. So they're not all the same size or length. And it wasn't meant to be anyway, so whoever I give this to, it's better that it's longer than shorter, so they can adjust it any way they want, because it's just in a knot that I didn't tie very tight. So just going through my charms, I just picked which ones that I wanted, and that's all there is to it as far as making these. I tried to avoid the charms that had an extra bead attached to it that was very thick. So I was trying to go through what I can actually use to save a step for myself. I used some cotton sheeting that I had. I applied it over to wax paper. I put it through my inkjet, and I printed the word love, friendship, Cupid, and XOXO. And I like the frayed edges on this. I tied a knot to the bottle, and I called this one done. It's up to you if you wanted to add these shredded sheeting pieces to your necklace. These next pictures are just close-ups, again, of what I've done. I hope you enjoyed these tutorials. Hope you can put a like and subscribe over to me. And I've done my first TikTok short video just last week. Please watch it and see it on my outro. Aloha! Aloha! Get ready for your Valentines making these lavender sachets stamped and painted that you can include in your gift baskets for your husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, anyone. These are all year round. It doesn't matter what occasion, but since Valentine's is coming, why don't you go ahead and make them? Check out my YouTube channel on the complete tutorial. I originally made these for my Christmas giveaways, but with any kind of stamps that you have, especially hearts and birds and things that you have, it could be used for that. I will have more upcoming videos on Valentine's. Aloha!